What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Residual Earners Podcast, Season 2, Episode 6. And today we have a wonderful podcast, and it goes over social media posting, getting in front of the camera, and how to handle the hatred that comes from haters out there on social media. I'm Jordan.
I'm Presley.
And we have the one and only guru that you have seen many times before, Miss Reagan Rue.
Yes.
Hello.
Reagan is kind of a co-host on this thing.
She's a staple of the Residual Earner Podcast.
She is. And we are blessed and highly favored to have her with us today.
That's it.
And she makes us look a lot better, too.
I know. She definitely does that for us.
I try.
So today, guys, we wanted to go over, obviously, Reagan is amazing when it comes to social media, when it comes to SEO, marketing, all those things. As you can see from the hat, the Calgary Roofing and Restoration hat, she helped us brand Calgary Roofing and Restoration, got us all set up social media, websites, she knows everything inside and out. So she had a really good topic that she brought to us that we want to go over. And obviously, when you are posting on social media daily, when you are very active on social media, similar to this podcast, people are going to say things that are negative. They're going to say hateful things. It definitely takes some thick skin to overlook some of these things, to not, engage with people that do this kind of stuff. So Reagan has, points that she has come up with, to kind of help with all of these different issues.
Yeah, so if you're in the Residual Earners University community, something that we have talked about, or I've talked about with a few people, is the fact that one of the things that stops them from posting on social media is the fear of hate, the fear of judgment, the fear of, am I not good enough? And because I have experienced these things, and currently I'm experiencing it through my social media journey, we're doing a 10-day TikTok challenge in the community where everybody has to post, no matter what, one video a day for 10 days. And what we're learning is it's hard to post without getting rejection, objection, hate, judgment. So this is a big topic for me, because learning how to get past that judgment and that hate, it's actually, I believe it's a muscle. It's a muscle that you have to train and work, and it's rewiring your brain to tell yourself that this person, their opinions, their judgment, what your family or friends may think. That's something that's big with me, is what it's my personal people. What are they going to think? They've known me my whole life, and now I'm posting cringy TikTok videos. What are they going to think of me? The only thing that matters is the person that you are trying to reach and what they think. Because I promise, if there's 100 people hating, but you've impacted one person's life, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. And I know Presley has a pretty unique journey in this, because I haven't reached the success that you've reached on social media. Social media is a pretty new thing for you. You just got started, a year ago? And Presley doesn't get hated on very much. You don't get a lot of haters, but starting your social media journey, how was that in the beginning when you started doing TikToks?
Well, obviously, I'm not used to people hating on me. I try to be a good guy, but what you figure out is when you start having some success, haters are just going to come out of the woodwork. I mean, it's just a fact. They're going to show up. For me, most of the time, I just try to ignore it. I just let the comments scroll on by, and I just try to ignore it. If they keep on, I'll usually say something of the nature of, guys, what you need to realize, we got a couple of haters on here. What you got to realize is hate comes from the bottom. Hate very rarely comes from the top. Successful people are not on TikTok hating on people. It's coming from the bottom. It's people that are jealous. It's people that haven't accomplished anything in their life. And, I just try to come from that angle to kind of, I never address them by name. I never address them, personally. It's just hate comes from the bottom. And what that usually does, they'll usually shut up then at that point in time. I don't block many people, but if they just keep on, obviously I'll block them. But I just keep rolling, and I'm blessed. And the other thing, if you have been on and you've got a little bit of a following, you'll be surprised your following will come to your defense.
Oh my
mean,
gosh.
they'll attack people. I usually don't have to say anything because the following just they're brutal. They'll go after somebody.
Especially in his comments on Residual Earner, if there's one negative comment, the thread of comments below is like an army of people, and they need to be monitored a little bit because they're defensive. They'll start attacking the hater.
And a lot of times what you notice about these accounts is they have no real pictures. They don't have a profile picture. Like
Yeah.
they're just a faceless person on there that's just trying to spread negativity.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What wasn't the one that was hating on you recently? A picture of a piece of bread or something?
It is his or her, I don't know. The profile picture is a pastry, and their name is like Hot Wheels, and they're hiding behind the profile
Yeah.
because
Right.
they don't want to show themselves. This person gets enjoyment, or these people get dopamine. I think it's a dopamine hit when they get responded to. They may be a lonely person. They're attacking you, not because they genuinely just want to destroy you, but because they're so insecure, lonely, whatever it is, that response you give them gives them the dopamine they needed for the day to feel good in the moment. I think at the end of the day, that's just what it is. But the hate, it's not as important as that one person that you may get in front of that really needed your message. Yesterday's when I've experienced a lot of hate on TikTok. If you haven't seen my other videos, I talk about how I went viral on TikTok, and I tried to save a dog, and I did rehome the dog, but everybody was so upset that I didn't keep the dog. It's like nothing I did in the process was perfect. I took a German Shepherd from one house where it was being, neglected, rehomed it to this beautiful family, and you would think that I would have been praised a little bit more, but the comments were like, you didn't keep the dog had a bond with you, this is so selfish, now it's going to be abandoned again, the dog has abandonment issues because of you. And all this hate, and I had like death threats and people in my comments, and this was at the time I was going very viral, so it was thousands. That was my first real time I experienced hate. I just couldn't look at my TikTok. I didn't look at it. I think it took me a year to actually read all of the DMs I got, the hate ones. I read all the good ones, and then I ignored all the hate comments. But what I realized after all of that is all of the hate comments were distracting from the thing that I actually did, which is I took a dog that was being extremely neglected. I gave it to this beautiful family that they love the dog. It was the kid's greatest gift. And I let all of the hate distract from what I actually did to the point where I forgot about it. All I could think about is what I didn't do right. And if we focus on the small comments or the small voices that are commenting on our TikTok, we're not going to be able to live in the purpose that we're trying to, because it's just distraction, and you're not going to be successful if you care about those comments.
100%.
No, and I think you're right. Most of the time, it's people that put a piece of bread for their picture, and they don't have a name on there. And here's the deal. Back when I was coaching, I'd get anonymous letters every once in a while, and if it was not signed, if they didn't have the wherewithal to at least tell me who they were, I just threw it in the trash. I didn't even read it. If I looked down there and it wasn't signed, there's no, I'm not going to give them credence. I mean, you either, man up, woman up, whatever, and tell me what you think. But if you're just going to be an anonymous person, nope, you're in the trash.
And nobody that's hating on you is typically doing better than you. When I think of my successful friends throughout my journey, not once do I get judged or hated on by my most successful friends.
No.
It's my most successful friends that are pushing me and encouraging me and loving me. And then it's people that aren't typically doing better that just want to drag you down.
Oh,
And
that's what I said. It's coming from the bottom.
yeah.
Hate always comes from the bottom. You very rarely see a successful person hate on somebody. It's always people from the bottom. So as you're going into your journey on social media, just ignore it, and then understand that if somebody is hating, it's coming from the bottom. I mean, give it no credence. Don't lose sleep over it. Just keep moving.
Yeah, and hate comments are engagement. So as long as they're engaging.
I'll sometimes, and it may not be right, but I'll poke them a little bit to keep them going, because
Yeah.
just as many comments as want to flow in there, I'm happy to get them.
I said this yesterday. Some people don't agree, but I think there's two options. You completely ignore them. That's like suffocating them. You're not giving them what they want. Or I used a hate comment to expand on the topic I was going over. Like, great. I love that you commented. This is perfect. I needed the engagement. I only have 3 comments on this video. You're one of them. So thank you so much, Hot Wheels, for commenting. Let's talk about the thing that you are hating on me for a little bit more. So I was able to create another video. I had an opportunity to respond to that video. If you guys use TikTok, you can respond to comments with videos. This is a really good way to engage. So if someone's hating on you, you can also use that if you don't mind, adding to the fire a little bit. But obviously, don't spend all of your time trying to hate back. I know Randy Hedge, when he gets hate comments, he's excited.
He goes all in.
He goes all in. He's like, great, let me keep proving you wrong, why you're wrong. And then at that point, they stop commenting because they'll comment, but they'll get embarrassed when you respond to them in a video.
Yeah, and what's funny is I saw your video where the Hot Wheels did that, and I was sitting there thinking, Reagan is a guru at this, and you got some joker making some idiot comment that made no sense to begin with. And you realize, again, it's just somebody that's just looking for attention.
Yeah, absolutely. So keep your focus on your purpose. If you get hate comments, ignore them. They don't matter. And my thing is, I've told myself this about my Instagram. I don't have like any followers on my Instagram, but sometimes I post like I'm an influencer, and I know I get comments sometimes from my friends, but anytime I post about fitness or something I'm truly passionate about, I may have 1,000 people that follow me that don't care, but I always have one person that says, well, where did you get that vest that you're wearing? Or, hey, I know you struggle with, your gut issues. What books are you reading? If there's one person off my post that I can inspire, I'm happy. As long as there's one, I don't care about the 100 people that are hating or judging or whatever. So as you start your journey, if your video can inspire one person, that's all that matters. And eventually, as you grow, you'll inspire more people, and there may be the ratio may be higher on the hater end. But as long as you're keeping your focus, keeping your purpose, and inspiring somebody, that's all that matters.
Amen.
So to add to social media, because one of the hardest parts when starting is to get over the fear or the overthinking process of posting just in general. So maybe you're someone, you don't really care if you get hate comments, but you can't even get yourself to post. This seems to be an issue with individuals wanting to start their TikTok journey. I did a video on this in the community. We did a live about this, but if you're somebody who wants to start your social media journey and you don't know what to post, how to post, my advice is always know who you're targeting and then just start posting no matter what. What do you guys think about that after starting your TikTok journey?
Go for it, Jordo.
No, yeah, know your strategy and just go, and never let other people dictate your direction. Like if you believe in what you're doing and know you're doing the right thing and know you're doing it for the right reasons, it doesn't matter what other people think. You do what works for you. And we've started to get a lot. We don't get it on Instagram, but we get it on Facebook with the roofing company. And it's just like people commenting have no idea. Everybody thinks you're screwing them on roof prices. Yeah. But it's like, do you not understand how much this actually cost? Like, do you not understand how much insurance is, how much office space is, employees, workers' comp for everybody? Like, there's so many things that go into that price. It's not just the roofing materials, the labor, and that's it. There's so many other things, and people are so, say crazy stuff. And, I usually say a little something back to get them going. But no, if you believe in what you're doing it for the right reasons, take off and don't think twice.
Hey, talk real quick about, and then I'll give it back to Reagan because she's the expert, but you had some hesitancy when you first started doing that stuff.
First started in front of the camera type stuff. It's difficult in front of the camera getting going, but I think once you get going, it becomes so easy. Now it's like I don't even think twice, and I don't need a script. But starting out, you're trying to make a video and it's so scripted and you're trying to remember everything and not feel dumb in front of it. And then the more you do it, it just becomes second nature and you roll.
Yeah. The one thing I'll say is that if you would have told me I could get on a TikTok live and literally talk nonstop for 3 hours, I'd have laughed at you because I didn't think I could do it. I mean, and I talk in front of thousands of people. Doesn't bother me to talk, but I never believed I could do it nonstop for 3 hours. But now it's not that big a deal anymore. It's funny. Just start doing whatever and, face your fears and do it anyway. I mean, it's you're going to feel the fear. Just feel the fear and do it anyway.
Do it anyway. I like back to your roofing, starting social media in the roofing business, because a lot of people would say that social media, and I might be one of them, because if I got in front of a roofer and they said, what are some ways that I can get in front of people? I don't think social media would be one of them. However, I've seen what you've been doing on social media, and you're breaking a little bit of things that I thought were to be true, just because I know where social media could be a really good tool for people. But to get leads off of social media. So are you experiencing lead generation from what you've done on, let's say, Instagram?
Instagram is not, Instagram and Facebook are tied, correct? Yeah. So I think, just through that, we are getting some through paid advertisement. But as far as just, what we produce just organically on Instagram, I don't know that I'm necessarily getting leads out of it, but I'm getting the trustworthy factor. We see your real company, we follow you on social media, we like what you're doing, and I showed you from the customer today that said, we're going with you. We've seen your social media presence. We love what you're doing, so like we're going with you. So from that standpoint, it helps close a customer for sure. And I think down the road, because obviously the social media hasn't been going too long, but the more it grows and the more people see the brand and have brand recognition, when those people, have a leak, whatever it may be, I do think they'll be like, oh yeah, I follow Jordan, we'll give them a call and go with them.
Yeah. For individuals like you, because social media, if you're an influencer or you're doing TikTok shop products, social media works really well. For a home service company, I always would tell when I used to work for an agency and we worked with a lot of home service companies, the social media, what we would tell people is, you may not get a lot of leads on this. However, this is the area in which people can get to know you a little bit more, which helps in the process with the the trustworthiness, the credibility factor, and then culture. It's an opportunity to show your branding. So if you guys haven't seen Jordan's branding, it's on his hat. He has phenomenal branding for his roofing company. This is huge. Whatever business you own, when you are starting social media, having a brand really, really matters. I'm starting to learn that, even if I don't have the best camera settings or whatever in my videos, if I can come up with whatever my brand is, then I can expose people to something about myself that they're going to recognize over and over again. So, for example, if you're starting your TikTok journey, something I talked about with the community is having a visual hook, having something, whether it's visual or a text hook in the beginning of your videos that you do every time that helps people recognize you, because you may not have a beautiful logo and colors like Jordan. So every time you're getting in front of the camera, they're like, who's that guy with the caricature, what is it called? A caricature?
Mr. Flame.
Mr. Flame. He's known for Mr. Flame. You may not have a Mr. Flame if you're starting your TikTok journey, but what is something that aligns with you that you can do to where anytime somebody's coming across their video, they're like, wait, I've seen this girl before. She always starts her video, slurping a slushie or something that you can grab people's attention. Branding is so important. So before you start posting on TikTok, part of your strategy needs to be, what can I do consistently that people will remember? It could be your background. Presley's typically got the same background. When he does his live, you see, his stairwell and his beautiful chandelier, and people recognize that. In branding, they say you have to see something 7 times to remember it. So what can you do consistently that people will remember you for?
And if you do need a new brand, a little bit of branding, talk to Reagan. She's the one that helped us with the logo on the hat. So if you are out there and want to change your logo, get in touch with Reagan.
I love branding. I will say though, Jordan's a pretty good brand strategist.
Become one.
The two brands you see now, his hat and then the brand right behind him.
Pretty solid.
A lot of that was you. Jordan's pretty good. But yeah, branding is fun. You have to have a brand. I tell this to most people I get in front of. If you just start off without any branding, how is anybody supposed to recognize you? You may get some people that trust you immediately. That rarely happens. People have to remember you, you have to get in front of them as many times as possible, and they have to recognize you for something. So what is that? That's going to be your brand. It's your brand image, your brand colors. It could be your brand messaging, your brand voice, something about you that's consistent but unique.
I always talk, when I think about branding, I always think about, recognize, remember, revere. The 3 R's. You want to be recognized, you want to be remembered, and at some point after you've got a little bit of a track record, you want to be revered. In other words, people look at you as somebody that's trustworthy, that's going to do what they say, that they feel comfortable giving a next call to. Even though they've used you once, they want to come back to you. Not they used you once and want to run off. They want to come to you. So recognized, remembered, and revered.
Definitely.
I used to work for a guy. He wore bright blue glasses and his hair, he looked like Albert Einstein when I was 19. And every time I went to a networking event, they would ask where Albert Einstein is with the blue glasses. I mean, people didn't even remember his name. And we were going to these networking events together. And they would be like, where's that guy? He's always there with the blue glasses and the hair, Albert Einstein. And I'm like, that's not he's here every week. We all say our names in the beginning before our elevator pitch. You remember everybody else's name here, but he was Albert Einstein. Everybody called him that. Yep. And he used it to his advantage. Anytime, we met with somebody, he branded himself. He created an entire brand around what was unique about him. So when you're branding yourself for your business or social media, what are some things that you are known for? People know, they recognize about you or they say about you. Use that to your advantage. Because I really believe that anybody with enough consistency and determination, if they get started on social media, they can get in front of people. They can inspire somebody.
Definitely. Amen. I agree with that.
All righty. What's the next point on the list here?
So I want to talk about how to build, we're going to stay in the social media realm of how to build a community, because you guys have done a really good job with Residual Earners, the community behind it, and we're seeing why having that matters, because if you can get a loyal customer base or community, these people will follow you anywhere you go. And we've seen that with our community specifically, the Residual Earners University. I mean, anything that we do or anywhere we go, they're following. And it has been such a blessing to us, because we know that we have a faithful group of people that are going to be here with us, and we get to give back to them. But also, no matter what we do, they're there. So I want to talk about, how do you find a community? How do you build a community? And then how do you grow that community? So how to find a community. When you guys first started off, you didn't have the mindset of, we just want to have this massive community. It was, we just have to stay consistent and start posting. And throughout that, because you guys have stayed consistent, people started coming back. And I think that's something important to keep in mind when you're starting your TikTok journey. A lot of what they were doing was just giving information for free. There was no expectations. There was nothing that they were selling. It was just giving. You guys probably gave for about 6 months.
7 months, yeah.
7 months. Presley was showing up every day on live for 3 hours. I mean, we were just pushing out content to help people in their journey. Within the 6 to 7 months, we had realized people are coming back. We have the same people in the comments. There's a couple of people that they started working for you in your lives. Like, he'll go live and people will ask questions, and he has a group of people that will answer their questions, point them. And these aren't employees. So if you're ever on Presley's Lives and there's a group of people just answering questions and sending, they don't work for Presley. That's because his community loves him. So when you're first starting off your journey and you want to build a community, my suggestion would be give people as many free tips, tricks, resources as you possibly can, because when you do this and you give to people, they're going to give back. And then eventually we realized we have about 200 to 300 people that keep coming back. Now we have a loyal community. They trust us. They love us. And then that's when we took that community and we built the university, because we realized we have to keep giving to this community, and we need to give them a little bit more than our TikTok videos. We want to give them the actual roadmap to success. We want to give them resources. We want to give them access to industry specialists that can help guide them in whatever area that they're interested in. We built the next level platform for our community. And as we got started, we were just learning based off the community. What does the community want? How can we serve them? And then once we launched, it is an unbelievable community. I will say there is no negativity. There has been, I think, 0 issues. There's 0 conflicts with people engaging with each other. You have people supporting each other's business, going and giving each other reviews. Once you get inside our community, if you go live on TikTok and you're afraid if nobody's going to get on, I promise you, these people will get on your TikTok live and they'll stop everything they're doing to support you. It is crazy. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but
Definitely.
No, I have. It's the culture that we've created, though. I believe culture is everything, and we've got a culture of positivity. We got a culture of giving and supporting and all that. And I think Reagan, I think it was because the consistency. Every morning, unless I'm on a plane or doing something like that, I'm there every morning. And I think people realize that I'm consistent. They realize that I do care. I try to add value to people, and people pick up on that. I mean, if you're trying to scam folks, they're going to pick up on that as well. So, I genuinely care. I genuinely want people to be successful. I think the good Lord put me on this earth to let people know you can be a success, because I came from the ghettos, literally, and you can do it, and I think people pick up on your sincerity. I think they pick up on you being consistent. I think there's just a few things they pick up on, and all of a sudden they'll realize that, hey, this person really cares, and I think that goes so far. And I think that's why we've got a community that if somebody puts something negative in there, man, they're like vultures, man. They go after them, and I think that's why I've got people that'll answer questions and comment, and like you said, they're not part of a payroll. They just do it because that they enjoy what we give people.
And when he doesn't go live for a day, I know Bears has received questions. I'll get DMs in the school community to me because they'll access anybody they think they can. Is Presley okay? He wasn't live this morning. Like, he's okay. He's out of town. He's out of town. I mean, you're their morning cup of coffee, but that's the result of, like you said, consistency. And if I come across somebody's video and it's me, give me, buy my course, buy my subscription, me. I mean, I'm not going to trust that person as much as when I come across a video that's you. This is what you could do. This is what you should do. This is how you can improve your life. And I think that's how we've built such a awesome community, is just we have really focused on what we can give to people. And now we have a little army.
We do. And, for you guys that are watching today, our Residual Earners University, there's 4 of us. You're looking at 3 of us now, Jordan, me, and Reagan. And then we've got a gentleman named Bears Jahanian that is behind the scenes doing a lot of stuff. And I mean, we see him occasionally on the university. But this is our team. And if you notice, we all care. We all want people to be a success. We take it very personally. And I think that's why we've had the success we've had.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you're interested, go to residualearnersuniversity.com. and check us out.
Yeah, if you want a community right away, within minutes, join the university. You'll have a community of people that will support you. They'll go comment on your TikToks. They'll engage. You won't have to worry about if somebody likes my video. These people will have your back. I think this is a little bit of it's a loophole in how to get people engaging on your content right away. Join the community. I know for a fact there's going to be at least 10 to 20 people that are going to go in and comment and help you. That's what it was designed to do.
And it works that way. And now, my gosh, we just keep expanding. Did y'all notice that? We started with a podcast. And by the way, this was Jordan's brainchild. The podcast was Jordan's brainchild. And then he came to me and said, why don't you do a TikTok live? That was his brainchild. And then he kind of came up with the idea for the university as well. So, you know, when you do a personality profile on Jordan, he's a visionary, and it's proving out.
Always got ideas.
Yeah. And
Good ones and bad
these
ones.
have worked pretty good. So we started with the podcast here. Obviously, y'all are here. And then we added the live, and now we've added the university. And understand, the university's in chapter 1. You wait till you see all the stuff we've got on the drawing board for our university. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah. I think to recap, if you're starting your social media journey, create your brand, find out what's unique about you. Don't care about the haters. You're going to get hate. I promise you're going to get hate. That's the one thing I can promise on social media is eventually you're going to get hate. I can't promise anything other than that. So ignore the hate. Keep going. Stay consistent. Focus on who your community is. And if you want access to a community right away, people that are going to love and support you, check out the university for sure.
ResidualEarnersUniversity.com. Yes.
That's it.
What else? You got any other points we want to cover, or we're wrapping up here?
I think this is good.
You think it's good? Well, if you think it's good, you're the guest of honor here. I say the guest of honor. Actually, you're the guest of honor and one of the staples of the podcast. So you're everything, Reagan.
If I blab too much today, there might not be topics later.
No.
So you have to cut me off.
No, you've been good. Anything else, Jordo?
No, I think this is kind of a great, episode. You know, we all experience negativity of social media, and it's just the mindset you have to push through it, not let it get to you, and kind of understand. I think we did a good job describing of where it's coming from, and, just keep pushing through. And it's amazing the power of social media. You know, if you get through it and, really start to grow your social media following, it's amazing the power that it can have, which well outweighs the negativity that you experience along the way.
Yeah, and I'll just end with this. Just feel the fear and do it anyway. I mean, that's really the key to being a success on social media. It's just feel the fear, because we're going to all feel some fear, but just feel the fear, do it anyway.
Definitely. Thanks for jumping on with us, Reagan.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you. Awesome. Thank you, guys.